So this is for Sienna. This is just a review of what we did during this lesson. And you can maybe watch it almost every day or every other day, and that just remind you how to find the notes. So we talked about the fact that the notes live on lines and on spaces, and your in theory book in the middle of the book, you can look at that. We talked that there are how many lines? 5, right? And the bottom is number 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can, for example, just point randomly at lines and tell yourself or your sister or your mom what number is that line? Like if I point at this line, what number is this line? It's 4, and so on. Then we talked about the fact that on the piano, right, the way to find two notes, D and C. And I'm so happy you removed the sticker, so she has to use her brain to figure out, oh, here are the set of 2 black keys, and here's a set of 3 black keys. And so between 2 black keys is D, right? That one is D. And the one before is C. And a good exercise after that is to find every set on the piano that is C, D, right? And if you notice, I'm making this shape, right? And I'm using the very fingertip. We talked about it during the very first lesson or two. So I'm just going to put the fingers like that and I can use only the middle finger, for example, and hold it. And then gently move to the next note. And then I'm going to look for the next set of 2 black keys, and the note in between is D. So this one is C. C, D. Very good. And then, of course, we talked about where those 2 notes, the middle C and the D, where do they live? They live somewhere on these 5 lines. But in fact, the middle C has its own special line, right? Little ledger line. So this is middle C. And what is the name of this note? Again, middle C, middle C. And then we talked that the note that is under the first line, that little dot under the first line, is D. This D, the D that is next to the middle C, right? In the middle of the piano. So that's going to be D, 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 and C, right? So that's the homework, to be able to recognize these notes and to find C, D. And if I point at this note, you need to be able to say, oh, that's D. And what about this one? That's middle C. And name the last 2 measures. And you're going to say C, D, C, D, and so on. All right?